Call the roll, please.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schmidt?
Yes.
Whitaker?
Yes.
Wright?
Yes.
Godwin?
Yes.
Hensley?
Yes.
Haddishell?
Yes.
Under public hearings, we have one scheduled public hearing tonight, and the other evening, the last meeting, the Finance Committee came back with the approval of the 2019 proposed budget and asked that it be sent to the County Budget Commission. And before we do that, we must hold a public hearing and then ask that that be sent on. So at this time, would anyone like to speak to either members of council or the general public as well, the 2019 proposed budget? Don't everybody come and speak at once. I mean, it's, how many pages long is that? Do you recall? Quite a few. Any members of council have questions? Had a chance to review it. So with that, we will declare that portion of the public hearing closed. And at this time, I would entertain a motion that we send this on to the County Budget Commission.
So move.
Motion by Mr. Rogers that we send the proposed 2019 budget on to the County Commission. Discussion. Call roll, please.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schmidt?
Yes.
Whitaker?
Yes.
Wright?
Yes.
Godwin?
Yes.
Hensley?
Yes.
Haddishell?
Yes.
Also, please note on that the public hearing was held. Now, anyone else wanting to address council may do so. Please come to the microphone. Okay, we'll move along to administrative reports. Mr. Mayor.
As the same as the last several meetings, talked about fireworks and band shell. They're finally done, and it was a wonderful day. It was kind of exciting leading up to particularly the band shell dedication. It turned out fantastic. The place looks great, and you can't say enough about the people that donated and the council members and past council members that made sure that the city put their hand in and gave enough money to make sure that all happened. So it was really a wonderful thing, and particularly J.R. Price, the musicians and park board, they're all thrilled and excited, and the day went fantastic. So it was a beautiful concert, and also thanks for the fireworks. It was a good show, and like a lot of people appreciate it. I've been hearing a lot of comments. So that's come to an end, so I'll think of something else to talk about next time. So I'll pass, thanks.
Is that it?
Yeah, I'll pass.
Okay, thank you. Safety Service Director, Mr. Garrison.
Thank you, Mr. Council President. Good evening, Council. Prior to the meeting, I put a handout in front of each of your positions. I would like you to pull that out and take a look at it. Tonight, I would like to continue the discussion of the downtown redevelopment districts, otherwise known as DRDs. Several meetings ago, this council had requested that myself and the mayor and law director attend one of the school board meetings and asked the school board if they would entertain the proposal of making our DRD a 30-year DRD. And for a refresher, in years 1 through 10, when we established the DRD, it is the city's responsibility to notify the school board only. If it is the city's intention to have a DRD that extends longer than 10 years, anywhere from 11 to 30, the school board must issue their approval of such a time frame. So we made that proposal to the school board. They requested that myself come back to the next month's work session and discuss it again. And at that second work session, the school board decided that they would take it under advisement and they would return a decision. This past week, through the treasurer and Doug Freeze, Greenville City Schools Superintendent, they reached out to me via phone, and their decision was to request that the City of Greenville would split the DRD in such percentage as 75% for the school board and 25% for the city of Greenville in years 11 through 30. And I believe I got a little bit ahead of myself. Somewhere in there, we decided, or the city council decided, that they would make a proposal to the school board that if they would agree to a 30-year DRD, the city council was willing to split the DRD proceeds 50-50. So that makes this makes a little bit more sense when I come back to you that their counter proposal was 75-25. And I outlined what that would look like in dollars and cents at the bottom of this spreadsheet. And with the 75% DRD revenue going to the school, and then let's not forget that, remember, a DRD only captures 70% of the property tax. The other 30% is divided with its normal percentages to the other taxing entities, like the school board, like a joint vocational school or a CTC, a mental health levy. Those particular levies would receive their portion of the remaining 30%. So when you add up the remaining portion of their 30% and the 75%, their total tax goes up to, and $1 million investment goes up to $13,142.95, which exceeds the amount of money they would have normally received if there was no DRD. And then when questioned, in questioning the treasurer and Mr. Freeze about their proposal, the reply that I received was that they countered this proposal to try and make up the money that they were losing in years 1 through 10. So, without a whole lot of commentary behind their decision, it would just simply be my recommendation back to this council that with their counterproposal, we just enact a DRD for years 1 through 10, simply notify the school board, and we will do what we need to do accordingly. If there would be a future investment in year 8, there are steps that we can take with redoing the DRD that would extend a certain section for another 10 years, and again, simply notify the school board. The unfortunate part in that is that with this decision, they wouldn't get their 50% that was offered in the beginning. So anyways, those are decisions that can be made down the road. Any questions?
When you talk about the new investments, again, that's purely speculative. In other words, once we establish the districts, if for some reason or another there are fewer or no really new investments in those areas, then the new taxes aren't part of the issue, right?
That is correct. From the time that we enact the DRD, that's baseline, that's zero. Right. So any tax that the school was receiving at that point, they will continue to receive that. The numbers that we're talking about, the 70% that goes into the DRD, that's strictly new taxes from the baseline. And that can be just we know that property taxes are going to, we hope in Greenville, that property taxes continue to rise. And with those increases in property tax, yes, 70% of that increase from the baseline will go into the DRD. It doesn't have to be, say, $1 million minimum investment. It could simply be a $20,000 remodel that would cause one's property tax to go up. The DRD would still see 70% of whatever increase would be from that baseline. If there are no questions on what the school's counter proposal is, we are still in that process of preparing the DRDs, and we need to have our plan in place. And we had a work session several probably months ago now, where we came together in a special work session and we answered a bunch of questions. This was one of those questions that was left remaining. I believe at this point, depending on what you decide, and I would ask for, if not a decision tonight, then when could we make a decision on how we want this DRD to be formed as it relates to the percentages and the number of years that we want to enact the DRD? When can we make that formal decision? And I would like to get that to our consultant so he can implement that or put that into our plan so that I can bring that plan back to you bring that draft back to you for a review. And then we would need to schedule public hearings and then have the law director write legislation that would allow us to bring this to fruition.
I feel 1 through 10 is sufficient myself.
Yeah, I agree.
I do too.
The most workable.
30 years just seemed like too long.
Do you want to do that as an informal vote, or we'll just take that consensus and put it in a draft and bring it back to you?
I would take that consensus, and I would go ahead and put the draft proposal together, or at least have the consultants put it together and review it, and then we can have the legislation prepared.
Okay. Thank you very much. Everyone have a safe and happy 4th of July. And with that, Mr. Council President, I will pass.
Wow, thank you. Law Director, Mr. Brand.
Just one item. Assistant Law Director Joe Lattis, fellow we were counting on to jump center for the city, is moving on to another job out in Dayton, and therefore has tendered his resignation effective July 13th. Joe's a good guy, and we're going to miss him, and I think everybody was really pleased with the work he did. Regrettably, he's leaving. With that, I'll pass.
Okay, thank you. City Auditor, Mrs. Woolman.
Thank you, Mr. Council President. I had notified the entire council via email that we were finally notified that our auditors are beginning their work next week. They will be coming on Wednesday. And as always, in the beginning, they ask if the council would like a pre-audit conference. And I need a consensus from you all. I know what it's been in the past, but I still need to ask you.
I'm good.
Do you want a conference?
I'm good.
I'm good with no.
Okay, I guess that's a yes or no. So
Okay.
I will pass that along, and with that, Mr. Council President, I will pass.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to committee reports. Have one out of the Safety Committee.
A report dated June 29th, 2018. Honorable members, we hereby submit our report. The Safety Committee met on June 28th, 2018 to review the current parking rules and regulations for parking in the downtown enterprise zone and determine if a change in the rules and regulations during sidewalk sales July 26th through July 29th, 2018 would be warranted. The committee discussed several options with Safety Service Director Garrison and Lieutenant Roberts, including extending the parking time limit to 180 minutes or enacting a moratorium during the Annie Oakley Days sidewalk sales event. The committee noted that a cost would be involved with changing the time limit, as new signs would need to be purchased for the event. The committee recommends that a moratorium be enacted to remove parking time limits in the downtown area during the Annie Oakley Days sidewalk sales event from July 26th through July 29th, 2018. The committee also requests that the necessary legislation be prepared. Respectfully submitted, Committee on Safety, Chairman Doug Wright, Vice Chairman Leon Rogers, and Member Clarence Godwin.
You've heard the committee report.
Move to accept the committee report.
Motion by Mr. Schmidt to accept the committee's report. Discussion. Call the roll, please.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schmidt?
Yes.
Whitaker?
Yes.
Wright?
Yes.
Godwin?
Yes.
Hensley?
Yes.
Addishell?
Yes.
So that legislation is not prepared, I take it, so we will have to have that prepared for the next meeting on the, what, the 19th, is it the 19th?
17th, I believe.
17th. I forget what date it is. 17th, yeah. And we would still, that would require an emergency clause, wouldn't it, Mr.
Well,
Wainwright?
yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So we can get it into the wire here, and we can get that accomplished. So if we could get that, I would appreciate it. before we move on, under committee reports, I have a request from the Safety Service Director that a committee assignment be given to review the wages for City of Greenville non-union salary exempted employees. The committee may recommend to council changes in the current pay schedule of certain employees. That's a pretty all-encompassing assignment, but I'm going to send that to the Finance Committee, Mr. Hensley, and ask that, do we have an urgent, there's no urgent timeline, but
We go first meeting in September?
first meeting in September, could you get it accomplished by, we'll put the deadline for the first meeting in September, but if it's prepared prior to that time, we can certainly take it. Okay, fine, thank you. Moving on, ordinances, resolutions, we have 7 to consider tonight. First one is the supplemental appropriations.
An ordinance to make additional appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the City of Greenville, State of Ohio during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2018. This ordinance authorizes appropriations to the general fund for CIP transfer, elected auditor and treasurer in the amount of $88,840. These funds are needed for the Choice 1 engineering contract for the Wagner Avenue street widening project, and to the Capital Improvement Plan Fund for roadway enhancement CIP in the amount of $88,840. These funds are needed to transfer to the CIP fund for the Wagner Avenue street widening project.
Move to suspend the rules, give this ordinance second and third reading by title only.
Motion by Mr. Rogers to suspend the rules, read the ordinance by title, second and third time. Discussion. Call the roll, please.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schmidt?
Yes.
Whitaker?
Yes.
Wright?
Yes.
Godwin?
Yes.
Hensley?
Yes.
Patashell?
Yes.
An ordinance to make additional appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the City of Greenville, State of Ohio during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2018. An ordinance to make additional appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the City of Greenville, State of Ohio during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2018.
Motion to accept this ordinance?
Motion by Mrs. Howdeshell to accept the ordinance. Discussion. Call the roll, please.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schmidt?
Yes.
Whitaker?
Yes.
Wright?
Yes.
Godwin?
Yes.
Hensley?
Yes.
Patashell?
Yes.
And next we have an ordinance consenting to ODOT project PID number, and then it gives the number in county and state and route selection.
An ordinance consenting to ODOT project PID number 108101, County Route Section D07BH for year 20. This ordinance authorizes the Safety Service Director to enter into and execute contracts with the Director of Transportation to complete the ODOT project PID number 108101 to patch bridge decks and seal on various bridges within the city limits.
Make a motion to suspend the rules on this ordinance and read it by title only, second and third time.
Motion, Mr. Godwin, to suspend the rules, read the ordinance by title, second, third time. Discussion.
Question.
On
Does this mean-
on suspending the rules?
Question on this ordinance.
Okay, this is the motion is to suspend the rules,
Okay.
okay? Further discussion or questions? Okay, call the roll, please.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schmidt?
Yes.
Whitaker?
Yes.
Wright?
Yes.
Godwin?
Yes.
Hensley?
Yes.
Patashell?
Yes.
An ordinance consenting to ODOT project PID number 108101, County Route Section D07BH FY20E. An ordinance consenting to ODOT project PID number 108101, County Route Section D07BH FY20E.
Move to adopt the ordinance.
Motion to adopt the ordinance, discussion. Now, Mr. Wright.
Does this mean all bridges?
I
No.
don't know.
If you look within the legislation, the specific areas are pointed out. I believe that might be on 127. Again, it's for 2020. These are bridges within the corporation limit that ODOT assumes the responsibility for.
Okay.
That'd be mainly on 127 then.
I believe so.
So those bridges out there that go over 36
Right.
are in the city limits?
City limits.
Okay. Does that answer your question, Mr. Wright?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Further discussion? Okay, the motion is to adopt the ordinance. Discussion. Call the roll.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schmidt?
Yes.
Whitaker?
Yes.
Wright?
Yes.
Godwin?
Yes.
Hensley?
Yes.
Addishell?
Yes.
Next, we have an ordinance accepting the deed for real property.
An ordinance accepting a deed for real property. This ordinance accepts a deed for a parcel of real property along Wagner Avenue, which is adjacent to a 7-acre parcel already owned by the city.
Move to suspend the rules and read this by title only, second, third time.
A motion by Mrs. Haudashell to suspend the rules, read the ordinance by title second and third time. Discussion. Call the roll.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schmidt?
Yes.
Whitaker?
Yes.
Wright?
Yes.
Godwin?
Yes.
Hensley?
Yes.
Addishell?
Yes.
An ordinance accepting a deed for real property. An ordinance accepting a deed for real property.
Move to adopt the ordinance?
Motion by Mr. Rogers to adopt the ordinance. Discussion.
Where's this piece of property lay?
Wagner Avenue, the retention pond that's at the corner of Wagner Avenue and Children's Home Bradford. For whatever reason, when that piece of land for the, actually it would be a detention pond, was purchased, there is still land that it goes to the center of Wagner Avenue, and there's land that goes to the center of Children's Home Bradford that was never transferred to the city of Greenville. And it was still in the name of the Beakey family or the Beakey Trust. I believe Mark Beakey, is that right, Mark, is the head of the trust, and he received or would have previously received a tax bill in the amount of $6 for a drainage assessment. And that's all they had to pay. It was like, why are we paying this? So they asked that that land would be transferred over to the city of Greenville. This is the formal action of city council accepting that land.
Okay, further discussion? So we have a motion to accept, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Call the roll, please.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schmidt?
Yes.
Whitaker?
Yes.
Wright?
Yes.
Godwin?
Yes.
Hensley?
Yes.
Addishell?
Yes.
Now, a resolution applying to participate in the OPWC State Capital Improvements Program and execute contracts.
A resolution authorizing the Safety Service Director to prepare and submit an application to participate in the Ohio Public Works Commission state capital improvement and/or local transportation improvement programs, and to execute contracts as required. This resolution authorizes the Safety Service Director to prepare and submit an application to participate in the Ohio Public Works Commission state capital improvement program and local transportation improvement programs, and execute the necessary contracts for financial assistance to political subdivisions for capital improvements to public infrastructure on Wayne Avenue. Wagner Avenue.
Make a motion to suspend the rules on this resolution and read it by title only, second and third time.
Motion by Mr. Godwin to suspend the rules and read the resolution by title second and third time. Discussion. Call the roll, please.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schmidt?
Yes.
Whitaker?
Yes.
Wright?
Yes.
Godwin?
Yes.
Hensley?
Yes.
Addishell?
Yes.
A resolution authorizing the Safety Service Director to prepare and submit an application to participate in the Ohio Public Works Commission state capital improvement and/or local transportation improvement programs, and to execute contracts as required. A resolution authorizing the Safety Service Director to prepare and submit an application to participate in the Ohio Public Works Commission state capital improvement and/or local transportation improvement programs, and to execute contracts as required.
Move to adopt.
Motion by Mrs. Haudashell to adopt the ordinance or resolution. Discussion. Call the roll.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schmidt?
Yes.
Whitaker?
Yes.
Wright?
Yes.
Godwin?
Yes.
Hensley?
Yes.
Addishell?
Yes.
And next, we have a resolution accepting the bid for sanitary sewer lining.
A resolution authorizing accepting the bid for sanitary sewer lining. This resolution authorizes the Safety Service Director to accept the bid from Instituform Technologies LLC for sanitary sewer lining services.
Move to suspend the rules and read this resolution by title only for second and third time.
Motion by Mr. Whitaker to suspend the rules, read the resolution by title second, third time. Discussion. Call the roll, please.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schmidt?
Yes.
Whitaker?
Yes.
Wright?
Yes.
Godwin?
Yes.
Hensley?
Yes.
Addishell?
Yes.
A resolution authorizing accepting the bid for sanitary sewer lining. A resolution authorizing accepting the bid for sanitary sewer lining.
Motion to adopt this resolution.
Motion from Mrs. Haudashell to adopt the resolution. Discussion.
Is there very many companies that put bids in for that around here?
Nobody locally, but I believe we had 3 or 4 bids total.
Okay.
Further discussion? Call the roll, please.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schmidt?
Yes.
Whitaker?
Yes.
Wright?
Yes.
Godwin?
Yes.
Hensley?
Yes.
Addishell?
Yes.
And next we have a resolution authorizing accepting the bid for sanitary sewer grouting.
A resolution authorizing accepting the bid for sanitary sewer grouting. This resolution authorizes the Safety Service Director to accept the bid from Lake County Sewer Company Incorporated for sanitary sewer grouting services.
Move to suspend the rules, give this resolution second and third reading by title only.
Motion from Mr. Rogers to suspend the rules, read the resolution by title second, third time. Discussion. Call the roll.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schmidt?
Yes.
Whitaker?
Yes.
Wright?
Yes.
Godwin?
Yes.
Hensley?
Yes.
Addishell?
Yes.
A resolution authorizing accepting the bid for sanitary sewer grouting. A resolution authorizing accepting the bid for sanitary sewer grouting.
Motion to adopt this resolution.
Motion Mrs. Haudashell to adopt the resolution. Discussion. Call the roll.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schmidt?
Yes.
Whitaker?
Yes.
Wright?
Yes.
Godwin?
Yes.
Hensley?
Yes.
Addishell?
Yes.
And number 7, add resolution authorizing the application with the Ohio Association of Public Treasurers regarding workers' compensation policies or programs or something.
A resolution authorizing the city auditor to file an application with the Ohio Association of Public Treasurers Retro Group to participate in its group rating program and authorizing the payment of fees for such services. This resolution authorizes the city auditor to file an application with the Ohio Association of Public Treasurers Retro Group, which allows employers to group together for a workers' compensation group rating plan in order to achieve a lower premium rate than they may otherwise be able to acquire as individual employers.
Move to suspend the rules, give this resolution second and third reading by title only.
Motion from Mr. Rogers to suspend the rules, read the resolution by title second, third time. Discussion. Call the roll, please.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schmidt?
Yes.
Whitaker?
Yes.
Wright?
Yes.
Godwin?
Yes.
Hensley?
Yes.
Addishell?
Yes.
A resolution authorizing the city auditor to file an application with the Ohio Association of Public Treasurers Retro Group to participate in its group rating program and authorizing the payment of fees for such services. A resolution authorizing the city auditor to file an application with the Ohio Association of Public Treasurers Retro Group to participate in its group rating program and authorizing the payment of fees for such services.
Motion to adopt.
Motion from Mr. Godwin to adopt the resolution. Discussion. Call the roll, please.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schmidt?
Yes.
Whitaker?
Yes.
Wright?
Yes.
Godwin?
Yes.
Hensley?
Yes.
Addishell?
Yes.
Okay, that concludes all of our ordinance and resolutions. No items under old business. One item under new business is a request for a zoning amendment. So would you please read the request?
A letter dated June 20th, 2018. Honorable members of council, at the June 19th, 2018 Planning and Zoning Commission meeting, Carol Brinings and Charles Richard Lynn Jordan's request for a zoning amendment for 610 West 3rd Street was heard. Parcel number for the lot is at the request. Members voted in favor to recommend that the request to rezone the property from LIC, Limited Industrial Commercial, to UR, Urban Residential, be approved. In following with the zoning regulations, Article 5 amendments, Section 5.05, the Planning and Zoning Commission is hereby forwarding the recommendation to approve the request to City Council. City Council, per Section 5.06, must now take action. The application is attached along with minutes from the June 18th meeting. Sincerely, Steve Willman, Chairman of the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Okay, so that zoning request has to lay for 30 days, at least 30 days. And then do we prepare the legislation so that it is,
I think you have to have the legislation prepared and available to the public for 30 days to be able to review.
okay,
So I would say perhaps not till the second meeting in August,
second meeting in August, okay, would be the public hearing,
I would say.
okay. All right, so we'll set it for, what August date is that? A little- Okay, August 21st. Okay. So after the legislation is prepared, then it is available for 30 days, at least 30 days for the public to review, and then council would act on it on August the 21st. Can't read my own writing. Okay, that concludes our items under new business. Any communications do we have?
Monthly reports were received from the fire department and the income tax department, and a Cities and Villages magazine was received from the Ohio Municipal League. These reports and magazine have been distributed to council.
I kind of miss getting the old magazine. That's kind of hard to read on the computer. Seeing nothing, under communications, again, just a reminder to council, and I'll remind us again at the next meeting, we've set the special work session with the Wayne Healthcare Group on the 31st of July at 6 p.m. here at council chambers, so just a reminder of that. Okay, then, seeing nothing further, we'll call down the council, please.
Mr. Rogers?
Yes, if you were not able to make it to the fireworks display or see it from somewhere in the city, it was great, as we noted before. And also, since tomorrow is July 4th, have a safe and happy holiday. And I pass.
Mr. Schmidt?
I'll pass.
Mr. Whitaker?
Yeah, I want to, again, reiterate what he said about the fireworks, and wanted to thank all the donors. It was a fantastic event and enjoyed by everyone. I want to thank everyone who came tonight, and it's good to see you here. And happy 4th of July. With that, I'll pass.
Mr. Wright?
I'll pass.
Mr. Godwin?
I'm gonna pass.
Mr. Hensley?
I'll pass.
Mrs. Haddishell?
The only thing I have to say is they've already said it, so I'll pass.
President Burkett?
What was that?
Well, I want to expand that a little bit. The fireworks were sort of spectacular, and thank you, Mayor, for kind of spearheading that endeavor. It's not a small task, I know, and when you have support from the community like that, that's pretty outstanding, and I really do appreciate it. I think we all do. Also, the dedication of the band shell was really an interesting and well done. And the first concert was pretty rousing, and particularly for the beginning of the 4th of July week. So it was well done, and all the people that participated in that, I think, is pretty neat as well. Regarding the 4th of July, it's more than fireworks, ladies and gentlemen. It's a very, very important date in our history. And please don't forget what it's really all about. The gentleman who signed that Declaration of Independence pledged their lives, their property, and everything. And many of them after that went broke because they pledged their fortunes to that endeavor. And so it was not a small feat on a few men's part to just sign that piece of paper. It was a commitment, and a very astounding commitment. And we're proud of that fact. So celebrate that as well as whatever else you might do on the 4th, and be safe and have happy. So with that, I would
Motion to
entertain a
adjourn.
motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Ms. Haddishell to adjourn. Call the roll, please.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schmidt?
Yes.
Whitaker?
Yes.
Wright?
Yes.
Godwin?
Yes.
Hensley?
Yes.
Haddishell?
Yes.
Thank you all very much for your attendance, and good night.